Good morning. I've got an article that just came out on RT, and I think that we should probably take a close look at it, and we should probably heed its warning that isn't necessarily made, but if you have any common sense at all, you'll understand what most likely transpired here. So I got an article that just came out. We're going to jump right into it. Instagram apologizes for branding Palestinians as terrorists, and I'll have the link to the article in the description. So, and regardless about how you may personally feel about whatever that's going on, that's whatever. I'm still waiting for the Father to show me who it is I'm supposed to hate, because I'm pretty sure that the Father commands us not to hate. And the only reason we should ever have that type of feeling in us is when it's righteous, when it's on behalf of the Father. But I digress, because I think a lot of people misunderstand what the user manual for people is instructing them. But whatever. Different topic, different time, I guess. Not really, but I guess. Article goes on to say Instagram's parent company Meta has apologized for an apparent bug that inserted the term Palestinian terrorist into the bios of some pro-Palestine users. And I'm going to put quotes on it, although they didn't. The quote-unquote bug was noticed earlier this week by a TikTok user, and it's got the name, who posted a video explaining that Instagram had falsely auto-translated his friend's bio, which featured the word Palestinian written in English, the Palestinian flag emoji, and the word Alhamdulillah, praise be to God, written in Arabic. As praise be to God, Palestinian terrorists are fighting for their freedom. Different combinations of similar words and emojis produced the same result, with terrorist added when it had not been written in either English or Arabic. Well, let's take that. When it had not been written in either English or Arabic. Okay, what you're dealing with here is algorithms. And what I honestly think happened is their algorithms were scrubbing the data on their social media network, and I'm sure the same is happening across all social media networks. What's going on here is the algorithm is scrubbing all the data, and it's looking for patterns, it's looking for anything that might indicate that somebody's radicalized. Now, when we start going into talking about radicalized, I have to ask, well, what does that mean precisely? Because it seems like there's a lot of words that get thrown around and used in very different manners depending on who it is they're using them for or against, right? So, you may think, it may be of your opinion, oh, well, yeah, they're terrorists and blah, 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 blah. Well, what would you feel about people saying that the individuals involved in what happened on January 6th, back, 2021 or whatever, whenever the hell it was, it's so damned ridiculous, it's all ridiculous, because it's nothing but a circus sideshow. That's all it is. That's all it is, a circus sideshow. But make no mistake, they will be doing everything they can to control any type of dissenting voices. And I expect, I suspect, and I can guarantee that you're going to see them use that word, terrorist, a whole lot. But it's going to be the people that they're going after that's going to be the concern, because it's not going to be the true terrorists. Hell, if they went after the true terrorists, they'd empty out White House and Congress, right? You want to go after the true terrorists, and it's not, of course, not just our nation, it's most of the nation. The largest contributors to terror on the planet are the nation's leadership. Plain and simple. Be careful, folks. You know, this is something I'm sure has been going on for a very, very, very long time. But what I think happened here is that coding was probably just supposed to log and flag that individual. I'm sure the system was just supposed to log it and flag it, you know, so that an administrator that's looking over the system will see it, and then they will in turn pass that data on. You know, this is going to be like a first level as far as scanning data and trying to disseminate whether or not there's any concern within the chatter, if you will. They've been doing this stuff for a really, really long time. But I think a coder screwed up here, and what was supposed to be information that wouldn't be seen by the public, indeed, due to a bug, a miscoded section, the public got to see it. And I think that's the truth of what happened here. And I think that folks shouldn't really throw their mind behind the fact of you know, who it is they're saying it happened to, and this, that, and the other thing. Don't get wrapped up in that, because it's going to be used against every single one of us. And anybody that goes against whatever their agenda is at the moment is going to be deemed a terrorist. This is a good example, folks, of what's really happening behind the scenes. But you have to understand that what happened, it was a bug, but not the fact that the system detected on his patterns and flagged him. That wasn't a bug. That wasn't a mistake. The mistake was the public seeing it. That was the mistake. Be careful on social media, folks. I've said it a million times. Don't say anything on any form of anything involved with the internet. When I'm saying this, I'm talking about whether you're using apps, whether you're using email. I don't give a damn who the email is through. I don't give a damn what the app is. Stop being naive. All these people are out there trying to convince you we can encrypt it so that they can't, you know, bullshit. We don't have access to encryption on a level that they can't crack. Are people thinking? Because I don't know that people are thinking. We don't have the ability to encrypt stuff from the United States government or many other governments around the world. You really think? You're really going to think they're going to allow that? You know, I got a lot of questions about Windows 11 that's rolling out. And there's been concern that one of the many things that Windows 11 will allow, I'm going to say bad actors, I mean the government, what will allow them to do is access the data on your computer without your computer being on. Oh, that's nonsense, Watchman. How would that happen? Well, you see, computers are much different today than they were 10 years ago. Today, we use much different hardware than what we used to do. Pinball, pay attention, you might learn something here. And one of the changes, one of the big changes in my opinion, was our storage, our data storage. We went from, using hard disk drives, which uses platters, spinning platters, and a reader. We've used them for a long time, and they work good, but they were running into brick walls when it came to the speed. They were unable to really increase the speed that physical hard drive could read and write at. They kind of hit that wall. And so, because of the advancement in chip technology, now they have solid state drives, M.2 NVMEs, I believe. They're basically a digital drive. There is no moving parts. There is no platters that spin. There's no motors. There's no readers. There's none of that. They are completely digital. I don't have one that I could just hold up for you, but it looks kind of similar to a memory card. If you've seen a memory card, RAM memory, similar. I mean, it's close in size and definitely in the shape, except that the contacts are on one end instead of along the bottom. Anyway, they're small little drives. Yeah, I could pull one up. It's not worth the time. But it takes nothing to power that. That's the point of what I'm saying. When it comes to the hard disk drives, you've got your 12 volt going in to be able to power up all the hardware in there, the motor, the reader, and all that. And I believe they use both the 12 volt and a 5 volt, if I'm not mistaken, hard drive. If I'm not mistaken. But that took a lot of current. That was one thing that you had to consider when you built a computer, right? Because if you had a big video card, if you had, a fast processor, lots of memory, and all that good stuff, the meaner the computer, the meaner the power needs to be that goes to that computer for sure. And there was a considerable difference when it came to storage when we got the digital drives versus the old physical drives. And now they just sip just the tiniest little bit. And in fact, residual energy inside the board, if it has it, and not all boards are going to have residual energy, but residual energy inside the board would absolutely be enough to power it. You could simply power it with a capacitor. That would be easy as pie to power it with a capacitor. So there's many ways to skin this cat as far as providing enough energy for that digital drive to be powered, or at least have enough power or standby power that it could be activated and read-write data, right? Not far-fetched at all. In fact, it's very probable. So I think that's one of the big things they're going to do with Windows 11, is I think that's going to give them the ability to access our data at any time, even if your computer's shut off. I don't know that they have the capability in Windows 10 to do that. I don't believe so. But I'm going to go back to what I was saying about not saying anything online that you wouldn't say right in front of them. And I mean, even in an email, even in a private message, anywhere. Do not. I am telling you, you are not hiding shit from them. That's some kind of bogus nonsense hopium. Everything we do is tracked, traced, and databased, and you can take that to the bank. Everything we do. If it's sensitive information, don't put it out on the www. at all. If it's sensitive information, don't text it. Don't call somebody and use the phone to tell them. If you really got something important you need to tell people, I highly suggest you take a walk without any types of electronic devices on you and you have your conversation. Because even at that, if they really wanted to listen to you, they still could. Be careful. Because you never know when it's your ideals that are going to be considered terrorism. Shalom.